Hey, my culture people. It's Nurse Brittany with the literacy. Or shall I say,
Nurse Brittany with the lit.
the word of the day is leukopenia. Leukopenia. What is that? Leukopenia is when you have a low level of white blood cells in your bloodstream. Now, white blood cells are a critical part of your body's immune system. They're like the soldiers in your body. So let's say you have an infection in your body. Well, the soldiers that are inside your bloodstream, your white blood cells, all gather together to fight that infection. So you need those white blood cells. It's a very critical part of keeping you healthy. Now, what causes leukopenia, you ask? I'm glad you asked that question. Infections, autoimmune disorders, genetics, bone marrow disorders, even some vitamin deficiencies, as well as sometimes medications can also cause leukopenia. How does your medical provider know that you have leukopenia? Well, they're going to check your labs. They're going to check what's called a complete blood count, which is called a CBC. That's what we use in the medical field. And a CBC, what that does is we take a look at your white blood counts, and if it is lower than normal, then you can be diagnosed with leukopenia. Now, I don't want you to get leukopenia confused with leukocytosis because they are different. And how are they different? How is leukocytosis different? Well, that's another word for another day. How is leukopenia treated? Well, this is where I tell you that you need to seek advice from your medical provider because there may be some underlying things that you need to know that is causing that. But let's say that leukopenia is caused because you have an infection. Well, more than likely you'll be treated with an antibiotic, especially if it is a bacterial infection. But there are some things that you can do to avoid experiencing leukopenia, like washing your hands thoroughly, don't share utensils, and avoid being around people who are sick. That way you don't get that infection and have to use those soldiers, those white blood cells. Health is wealth. Take care of yourself. I care about you, but it can't just be me.
Nurse Brittany with the lit.